So if you're still around, awesome, great, awesome to have you here. Just going to go through and do just the first round through on the Southeast USA map. What we're going to do is we'll put that guy back. We're going to go hide this because we don't need that right now. We're going to do a budget of 6 and 3 for Reginald. So the first round, we're not going to roll for Xavier. And we're just going to see what we have. We're going to just do a plain old game here for a little bit. So to start out, we have a 1, 2, and a 6. 6 usually starts out pretty strong, but I could go through and use 1 to set up a company right off the bat. Actually, that's not completely true. I got to go through and put rules in there because you still need to have presidency in a company to be able to add to a short line. So we'll go through and we will do company 2. We'll do company 2 with a free share. We're going to do it just to sort of show the game. This isn't going to be an optimal play in any way, shape, or form, but I just wanted to go through and at least show some of this stuff off. So Reginald's going to take the 6. Reginald, because he has 6 budget, he's going to go through. He's going to take 3 shares and 6. He's going to get the first engine. And he's going to build toward New Orleans. So that's his turn. Us, again, we're sort of going a little slow off the bat with only 1 share, but it's late and I gotta do what I can. But what I'm gonna do with that free one, I want to go north because that extra $3 there is looking really good. So there's that. Round 2, or turn 2, round 1. Bring these guys over. We don't have our 1s and 6s. Actually, yeah, we don't have our 1s and 6s on the white dice, so we just have the 1, so we don't flip turns. Xavier's going to go through and take the first private company in theory, but because he doesn't have anything, he doesn't get to do it. So we're going to move him out there. I'll have to write that in the rules. So 1, 4, 5. Everything is free. Oops, I forgot to do this too. Okay, so 1, 4, 5. I've got 2. Kind of want to have 4. Reginald could grab 6 if he wanted to, but if I give him, the reason why he can get the 6 is he could actually get the 1. The 1 would give him a private company, and he goes and builds toward whatever is the highest revenue that he can get. Since 6 can get mines, he would build there. If I give him that, he's going to have 2, 3, and 1 for $6 right off the bat. And he's going to get to it eventually, but I don't want to help him. So we're going to let him build up 5. And I'm still going to I'll do just 1 share of 4. I haven't really tried it like this before, but we'll give it a whirl. So Reginald's going to go through and take 5. He has a strength of 3, so shares are 2 pips apiece. That gets another engine. I forgot to mark the other engine too. Forgot to mark Xavier. I swear I'll get all this stuff right. Again, it's like almost 1:30 in the morning, but just had to go play tonight. I get to pick where he goes from these 3s. I'm going to send him off toward GM&O because hoping I can get a hub over here in this way and have him kind of cut himself off from some really profitable runs. So it goes back to me. I can do, I could end up doing an extra build or a private company for 2, but I don't really see anything that these guys really want to do to interfere. I could put 1 over here to block 6. But I'd rather just, I forgot about my capital reserve too, so I can do that. Again, we're going to keep it simple tonight. So for Company 4 will get our free build to Atlanta, which will give us the 2. And again, I don't have the company powers here down on the sheet, but Company 4 ends up having their 2s automatically circled so they don't rust. So that was an investment run. That was an investment. So we're there. Turn 3. 6, 5, 3, and 1. So here we go. I got a 1 and a 6. So Xavier and Reginald are going to flip. So Reginald's going to get the 5. I get to pick what Xavier does. And did I mark Xavier last time? No, I did not. I don't remember what he had, and I'm too lazy to go back in the video to check. So I'm going to assume he had a 5 last time. I will move the rival over. And we'll say rolled it again. Usually it's solo, no one's paying attention, no one's there to check your rules, no one's telling you you're wrong. So, apologies. So we'll just sort of go with what we got. So we'll say Xavier rolled a 5 this time as well, or 5, so what I want it being is Reginald will go through and have that. Xavier, I can pick between 3, 1, and 6, which I can give him. I kind of want to give him GM&O. Let him fight with Reginald for a while. And then Reginald will work with the 5. Reginald will do an operation. He has access to 2 here, to there, so he gets to build track. He gets to build 2 of them. He has to go to the cheapest ones first. And I think what I'll do is I'll have him go this way and this way. So 3 and 2. He can't go here. He doesn't want to go there. He could go this way. And I want to keep him away from Atlanta. So there's his operation round. And we did Xavier. So now it's up to me. And I gave him the 6, which gives me the choice between a 3 and a 1. And again, I'm just going to go kind of off the cuff, and forgot to mark the round again. We'll do Company 3 for a share. They get the first 3 train. They get a free track. We'll put them down here. There we go. Round 3, or turn 3 is complete. 4, 5, 6. There we go. Here we go. Turn 4. And again, we rolled this, so they flip. Reginald's going to get a 6. I have to go pick Xavier's die. We'll let him pick. I just don't want to give Xavier the 1, but he also isn't president of anything either. So he doesn't skip. That's okay if he can't buy something, then he'll build track, but he doesn't build track. So he will take a share in. Yeah, I got to work on the rule for that. I guess I can't have him do that. He needs to have a presidency somewhere. So we're going to give him a shot at 6. Reginald goes. He operates. 6 is going to build 2 track. So they're going to head off toward Little Rock. 2 and a 1. I could go through and start adding track, but I want to just have Company 2 grab the free track build up to there. And then they mark their operations task. Turn 5. And another flip. Mathematically, it's interesting we had that many. I'm not rolling very creatively today. Reginald's gonna use the 6 for his build. So I have to pick Xavier. I'll give him the 4. Gives me a 6 and a 1 when it's my turn. Reginald can invest, so he's going to spend 6 pips to grab those shares at 3 pips apiece. And that leaves me with a 6 and a 1. I can't do anything in 6. Don't have really much going on with a 1, but what I think I want to do is I want to use a capital reserve and at least get some shares on something. So I'll get Southern because right now that's my only hope of getting some revenue. So I've got my 4 shares there, and we did it all. Turn 6. Holy cow. Swear, mathematically, I thought I had everything worked out. Reginald's going to use the 2, which means he's going to be going in this company here, which means I got to pick between Xavier and the last one. Xavier can't. Xavier can get a share in 2 if they wish. So, yeah, I guess unless I want to give him more and more over here. But getting the presidency started for me would be good. So I'll do that. That's a Xavier. Reginald is going to do nothing because he has no shares in 2, which leaves me with 6 and a 6. So I could do another, use the rest of my capital reserve to move over to like maybe a 4, or wrap around to a 2 and use the 6. I think what I want to do is use this capital reserve to turn this 6 to a 4. Because we got a natural 6, we're going to turn this into a bypass for 6. Or excuse me, 4. So the reason why I did that is 4 can go through, gets the city, starts bouncing through this way, and can start messing with some of the track over here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so we have 6 of Xavier's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on Xavier means technically, I think we're at the end of the round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did mess up somewhere. 4 will have the operations. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 6. I think with Xavier, I overshot 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have 1 less. And it might have been down here where I was trying to figure out what are over there because I ended up giving them stuff that maybe I shouldn't have given them. Bear with me. So we had our 6 there. 6th turn. So last turn of the round. And finally we have a normal round where Xavier goes back to being his usual random self. He rolled a 2, so he's over there. Leaves us to figure out for Reginald what we want to do. For the sake of completeness, to show the Shortlines stuff, I'm going to tweak changes 2 to a 1. And I will give it to Reginald. And then I'll use the 4 and the 5. Reginald will go through. He can buy 1 of those shares. So he gets the 1. There's no engine that's taken off for company 1. And he's going to build closest for whatever he has the presidency of and the most stuff of. He's got 5 shares for Golf Mobile in Ohio. So this is his move. So he will go through and reserve off this line. Again, obviously I wouldn't do that during a regular game, because unless I'm going to get the presidency back, it doesn't really make sense to give him even more money, but we're going to show it just for that. So he ended up getting the company, and from there, the 4 and the 5, I've got a good line I can start going through. I can invest more in 4. 5, I could try to break into Louisville and Nashville and try to kind of get rid of some of the stuff that Reginald set up. But I really want to go off on 4 and start setting up that way. So I'm going to use my 5 pips to at least build or get 2 shares at 2 pips apiece. So that's what we have for the first round. I'll do the scoring for this really, really quick, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. Reginald has 1 share in company 1. There's no presidency, so he gets 1. Company 2, I've got 4 shares. Xavier has 2. Got a 2 train. Didn't reach that city. Kind of a bummer. So, brought value of 2, but there was a presidential bonus because Xavier helped me out. I haven't used up all my maintenance, so it's $8 bucks, which gives me 16. And Reginald or Xavier 4. Atlantic Coastline 3. They haven't really gotten anywhere either. So they have a 2. There's no presidency, and I'm the only guy there. So that's the scoring for there. And then company 4, I've got the upgraded 2, which will save me some hassle later. 3, and then 1. Right now, Atlanta is worth 2, so company 4 is worth 3. And presidency bonus, there is 1 because of the 8. I have more shares. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 8 is 17. 1 times 3 is 3. So Reginald hasn't done much until now. Louisville and Nashville, he has a round of 3 with but he only has a 2 engine, so he gets 2. And he has 3 shares for 6. And then Gulf Mobile in Ohio, the behemoth that it is, 2 train. They're going to go through to this mine, which for them would be 3. So they have to start out with 4 for that 2 train. Presidency bonus is 8. Reginald has 5 shares. And then Xavier has 2. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 8 is 28. 2 times 4 is 8. So at the beginning of the second round, we will have a tie between Reginald and I. And technically, if it came down to the tiebreaker, which I got to put this in the rules too, I don't remember if I put it in. If there is a tie on dollars, then whoever has the least number of shares ends up winning the tiebreak. And if it's still tied, then everybody truly is knotted up. So the number of shares for Xavier is 5 for 15. So right now, it's anybody's game between at least Reginald and myself. That's the first round. So that's how this one started. I'll probably end up posting just a picture of it when I get around to finishing it up tomorrow. So the spoiler for kind of some of the other stuff I'm thinking for the game involves coming up with different formats to show things. So what I ended up doing is I'm like, I want to go through and potentially make smaller versions of the game. It'd be kind of neat to sort of do like a button shy kind of thing. But for now, and I did end up doing some prototyping for that. So we have just very, very basic clamshell. We got a couple more that are coming in. But the idea is using top loaders to go through and pick out whichever cards that you want. So for example, on this one, the company value, you'll notice, are the powers are all different. And that they'll be able to flip these over and use them over for something else. But so Xavier, your score sheet ends up getting wiped every time. And but also too with these cards, for example, I can go through and maybe change out the presidential bonus, or maybe I can do the shares, or maybe for some of this other stuff, I can change the engine track and mix and match these with some of the other map tiles that may be there. The only thing I don't like about these smaller ones is the maps aren't going to look as well with the top loaders, and laying out the maps themselves is a little bit wonky for my taste. But that said, for something that would fit inside of like a just plain old, I mean, it doesn't have to be a tuck box like this. It can actually be end up being like an actual, like a bridge deck, or like or a bridge box, or some of the other ones too. So that would be kind of cool. They definitely would fit inside of this guy. And the other idea I was playing around with was just dropped something. Is going through and actually using 5x7s top loaders or side loaders, and we'll move these guys out of the way. And going through, and so this is the southern map that I played today, and as you can see, things were really, really tight. But the notion behind this as well is again to go through and like main or a different variation of this map where maybe the engines go up to a 6, or maybe it rusts at a 4. That kind of thing will be flipped over in the back. And my scoring for that was on this, so it's all in one shot, and I would go through, and after I'd score up my round, wipe it out, and then keep track of things down there. I don't know how I feel about that completely either yet, just because I kind of like seeing the progress of the companies as they go through in the game, and that kind of gets rid of it. But flip side, it gives everything you need on one display. And it would be easy enough to include a card that has the scoring this way, or even include another top loader just for scoring, or a pad, or whatever. I have a clamshell coming in for that for this format on Monday, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll do just a quick video, and I'm thinking of that way. The reason why I get a little bit of a detour too, but John Bohr from Winsome Games, when he did his publishing, I don't have one next to me, but he used plastic clamshells so that they would hold 8.5 by 11, which would handle basically his maps and cubes and everything he needed. So it's much more economical, and it's easier to get a small run out of something. And this is not, again, I'm not counting any of this to be like in a game store in the retail anytime soon, unless I am able to snag a little interest. But the clamshells make it so that it's at least a physical way to send out the game for people that don't want to print and play. The print and play that I did before long ago, about 15 years ago, for Bindle Rails, was all done by hand, and it was done before PNP Arcade and that kind of thing. So with all that being different and everything changed in Kickstarter and everything else, I decided to go about and do my distribution and my design this way and keep everything on my own, and just sort of see where it goes. So again, tying back to the first video, it's already gone past what I thought. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not Alan Moon, and probably never will be, and this is definitely more of a labor of love than anything else. But it's neat to go through and kind of plan all this stuff out. I like being able to get a couple little clamshells and just sort of go through and experiment with the design. So my eventual aim, I think, will be to go through and do at least the PNP kits for what I showed here today, and still honor the original map, the one sheet, because I still think that's awesome that you get a train game on one sheet and 3 or 4 dice, and we'll see where it goes. I still have the other maps planned out, and there are a couple other financial levers that I'm looking at. that I'll probably share in the next 2, 3, or 4 weeks. So I want to try to get this guy down and get the formatting down well enough so that I'm pleased with it. So, but that's basically it. So it's getting late. I need to sleep, and but I was just too excited, and I wanted to share this stuff. So if you made it this far, thank you, and have a good night. And again, any questions, suggestions? There's been a lot of good feedback on the rule book, and it's been really improved because of the diligence of the players out there doing stuff. So again, over the moon. It's awesome. So anyhow, all right, we're at 25 minutes, and we're going to wrap this up. So thank you so much if you stayed on this long. Happy railroading. Take care.